The names of child sex assault victims in plain sight. Didn't seem right to us, and it wasn't at all. Our investigation bringing solutions tonight, potential big changes now to protect the privacy of all the state's victims of sex assault.
A clip here, a snip there.
You saw our story.
While innocently colored in,
Yes.
they represent innocence lost.
After seeing our story when you entered office, where was fixing our findings on your priority list?
Oh, right away. Under my watch, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to address it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Atop the to-do list for new Circuit Court Clerk Iris Martinez, protecting the private information of thousands of child sex crime victims.
Our first step is put in the case number. This case is restricted right now.
We were granted
Like you can lock that.
access to that fix.
It's a very labor-intensive process.
A process underway only after the CBS 2 investigators discovered the previous administration broke the law by not concealing child victim IDs.
How many of you were sexually assaulted in the city of Chicago?
That revelation
All of you.
during an expose in 2019.
How many of those cases were solved? None.
In 2019, the CBS 2 investigators found Chicago had an abysmal sex assault solve rate. While digging into rape case files,
It's like this guy was on parole.
we found what we shouldn't.
She was 7, he was 66.
Child sex assault victim IDs, names, dates of birth, addresses, and more.
Knowing what you know now of our findings,
Advocate Sarah Layden.
the next victim that comes forward and says, will my information remain confidential?
I'd have serious concerns about guaranteeing that.
Some would say how sloppily those records were handled open you up to potential litigation, being sued.
I agree.
The disclosure of the victims' identifiers broke this 1986 Illinois statute, the Privacy of Child Victims of Criminal Sexual Offenses Act. It clearly states such records shall be restricted, but many weren't at all. We found them with a few keystrokes at publicly accessible court case kiosks in the Daly Center. Originally, after a painstaking game of bureaucratic ping pong, in which state's attorney Kim Fox eventually had to threaten to sue outgoing clerk Dorothy Brown, only then did Miss Brown promise to restrict access to the information.
The previous administration told us they fixed it.
What can I say?
When we followed up 2 months later and checked again, we found Brown's team only remedied a few of the cases. When we brought that to new clerk Martinez's attention,
Thank you so much. You all appreciate it. Take care.
only then did we learn the problem was exponentially worse.
How not fixed was it?
When I was told there was thousands, I was shocked.
Thousands of identifiers of child sex assault.
that were visible.
We're pulling up the case.
Now, her clerks are going through the files one by one.
Sometimes it could be up to 80 pages long.
Martinez's executive clerk of external affairs, Patrick Hanlon, walked us through the tedium,
Quite a bit of manpower and time.
looking for any victim name, address, phone number, and on,
You'll see the lock on the screen.
and restricting all documents where private information could be.
We have to make sure that we protect people's identity, especially our children.
Clerk Martinez is upping the ante. Using her nearly 2 decades as a state senator, she's proposed an overhaul of the antiquated 1986 law. For that, she enlisted the help of State Senator and Majority Leader Kimberly Lightford.
You exposing it actually brought the issue to the surface.
And I think this is the best way.
They served as senators together and share something else.
Exactly.
Survival. Both were victims of domestic violence.
And to know that that information could be exposed publicly is reliving your trauma.
My partner in crime in Springfield.
Now working together to fix a critical flaw in the 86 law.
It was just providing the protections, be there, but it didn't provide exactly who should do it. And that's why it's important that we revisit statutes that are outdated.
It would be on the clerk of courts, according to their proposed legislation. It'd be the first of its kind across the country. An amendment, an addition to the already on the books 86 law protecting child victims, and the creation of a new law via a secondary Senate bill. Same protections, but for adult sex assault victims. Senator Lightford is the chief legislative sponsor.
Their chances of passing into law are?
I don't see any reason why it would be a challenge to get it past the legislature.
It is early, though, in that legislative process. The bills will be heard in committee for the first time tomorrow. We'll keep you updated. If they pass into law, any Joe won't be able to see this info anymore, as was intended but not done by the 86 law.
So, Brad, how would someone access the records in question for legitimate purposes?
That's a good question, Erica. So general info, like the status of the case, would still be publicly viewable on those kiosks we showed you. But the new law would require a court order to see more, the sensitive stuff. So a lawyer or any officer of the court would have to petition a judge to be able to get that access. For more on this development and my previous investigations about the privacy of sexual assault victims in Illinois, go to the CBS 2 Investigator section of the CBS Chicago app.